Alright. I know I could say something, but who knows. Anyways, we're back from my political life video blog. And this is according to theblaze.com, and so is campus reform. I bet it's a college conservative campus conservative website, so it should be fun, so who knows. Anyways, here's an Arizona college professor who docked a student's grade on a paper for using the term mankind as as another word for humanity. Humanity. Wow, that's that's something to flip your lid to. Anyways, anyways, listen to this. Ka- Kaylin Jeffers. Jeffers is an English major professor at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona, had told that campus reform that she's receiving an email from the professor Ann Scott explaining the decision to take away 1 point on a paper over a student use of the politically incorrect term. Sounds like Bill Maher's politically incorrect television show, is it? Never mind. Anyways, according to, you guessed it, NAU website, this stands for Northern Arizona University, says that Scott teaches undergrad courses it has something to relate to various types of literature, including American minority literature. Now, Caitlin Jeffers, I bet she's a student, a major student in over the University of Arizona. And it says that Scott sent an email to the class after grading students' first essay. The email instructed students to always number their pages as a use proper modern language association format and other reasonable requests. And however, she struck by one particular rule. Oh boy, and that is, you guessed it, absurd reason. Yeah. The professor told the students that to use gender neutral language. Here's an example for you. Jeffers says humankind should be used instead of mankind. Really? Well, guess what? Jeffers told Campus Reform says that this word is absurd. And this is anyone else wasn't being so serious about this one. So she decided to test it out in in her essay, and that's why using the term mankind instead of humankind, she does the right thing. But what about Scott? Oh my God! Later sent Jeffers an email again, and her grade for the second essay, yeah, a 39 out of 50, but would receive a 40 out of 50 had she been politically correct in her language as a specific breakdown of points for, for an essay that shows Jeffers deducted 1 point of you know who for problems with diction, word choice, and Scott will explain to her that she has been recently for the decision in an email to Jeffers. I wouldn't. I would be negligent as a professor who runs a class about the human condition and the assumptions that we make about being human. If I didn't also raise this issue of gender language and asking my students to respect the needs for gender neutral language, And the words we use matter very much. Else the teachers, what about the teachers? Would not be mankind as a whole issue of at this at all. But what about MLA? Would not be making recommendations for gender neutral language at a huge level. I guess what? I respect. I'll respect your choice to leave your diction choice as is, and whatever political statement that you want to say about doing so. By the same token, I will I will still need to subtract your points because of your choice not to be in made in a letter or the spirit of this particular uh, class, well, which is having you and other students, well, guess what, students, looking forward to believe this as your assumptions and understand this, that mankind doesn't mean all people and all people and to all people, and it doesn't positively not making sense. Well, guess what, Scott? Well, guess what? Scott gave Jeffers the option of of revising the paper to earn additional points to the and what about the professor further noticed about the student that she couldn't appeal her grade to the department chair? Well, it's not clear, however, if Jeffers choose to do either. Well, let's call the whole thing off. Uh, thing off. Scott gave Jeffers the option of the revising of this paper, and you know what? Amy Scott sent another email. One more time. Email the entire class. Record calling an important discussion if I had with one of our class members today about gender neutral language. But guess what? The email to the entire class explains the word choices have consequences. And that goes beyond political correctness. You could say that political correctness, but don't change my personal agenda. You know what I'm saying? Now the email that everybody quoted that it didn't mention Jeffers by name. So in this class, I mean seriously, in this class, such as this, where where therein the course goals, discussions, readings, and assignments of all focusing what makes us humankind, or I should say human, and 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 the assumptions would make such a concept. It is crucial to understand that the word choice really means a great deal and have consequences in terms of what we reveal our assumptions and about ourselves and others, and the word and the whole world generally. Now, the the moral of the story, the moral of my political life story is this: that the issue goes beyond political correctness. For my colleagues and I recognize that the words will help everybody creating our reality, power dynamics, and relationships among people. You you are welcome to make a huge statement about your politics and consciences and beliefs by using gender specific language in your papers. And in many cases, gender specific language is called for when you can discern with certainty of the gender. I don't care if you have gender, race, or creed, or whatever it is. of the characters and the author that you're rediscovering about this one. And however, I'll still have to subtract or subtract a point or two for any kind of language that refers all people as mankind or as readers, either him or he, for the reasons that everybody wants to be outlined carefully above the norm. And one final note: Scott didn't notice. Scott didn't even know how to respond to a request for a comment, according to Blaze.com, that a representative for Northern Arizona University didn't return a call. Too bad. What else can we go wrong? For now. Oh boy. That's my political life story, and I'm sticking to it. Class dismissed.